So I've seen a few Crucible changes scattered throughout various Destiny 2 videos, but I'm yet to see a comprehensive list all in one place. So I've combed through interviews and hit up various Crucible developers on Twitter and come up with what I think to be a list of every change we know about so far. If I've missed any, please let me know in the comments. And finally, this is an alpha build of the game and everything, and I mean everything, is subject to change. I think a good place to start is that every game mode, including Trials, is now 4v4. Here's what Mark Noseworthy, the project lead for Destiny 2, had to say about this. Quote, "The reason we're going 4v4 is to make PvP more learnable, more watchable, it encourages teamwork, and ultimately leads us to a place where we can make a more competitive PvP game." Now, I've seen a lot of people complaining about this change, but here's why I like it. Think about 6v6 for a second. Just think about it. Guys, it's a cluster. I mean, real talk. And this is coming from someone who loves Control 6v6. I love it. But there are so many supers going off all the time. Think of the spawns. How often do you get spawn killed in 6v6? I know I get spawn killed a lot. This will be definitely reduced in 4v4 because of the sheer volume of bodies on the map will be way lower. But yes, won't the game be really slow now? Well, having played 4v4 for a few hours, I can tell you that there's not really any more downtime with 8 per map versus 12. If you play aggressively, you can be in the action just as much as a 6v6 game. Teamwork is now a much bigger factor. In 6v6, your life doesn't really matter at all because there's so many people on your team. But in 4v4, suddenly you make up a whole quarter of your team, and you dying because you rushed in needlessly is a much bigger deal. Mark also mentioned it's more watchable, and this is absolutely true, and I think an interesting insight into the way Bungie might be thinking about Destiny as an esport later down the line. So yeah, in summary, I promise it's not as bad as you think, and I like the competitive direction that it's taking us. The second biggest change overall is that the time to kill is now slower, and Guardians have more shield. So we're moving away from the Call of Duty insta-kill vibe that we were kind of leaning towards back in the day, and we're heading towards the traditional Halo gunfight, actual skill now required. Intellect, discipline, and strength have been replaced with armor, agility, and recovery. I'll be very interested to see if movement speed has now been tied with the agility stat, as opposed to just jump height. And you can now opt for additional shield strength at the cost of mobility according to the perks on my helmet. To show what additional shield strength looks like, a sniper body shot of 100 damage doesn't even break that shield, as you can see here. A melee only does 90 damage now as well, so also isn't able to break a shield. And it now takes 3 melees to kill someone at full health. Praise the Lord. An exception to this is Frontal Assault, a Striker Titan ability that does more melee damage. Although the damage number still says 90 in this example, which doesn't make sense because I hadn't even broke this Titan's shield after the no-scope, so 90 damage should not have been enough to kill him. Oh well, it is an alpha build, not really sure what was going on there. And to be honest, I would be surprised if Shoulder Charge was even a one-shot kill anymore. Brace yourselves, it probably isn't. Anyway, moving on to radar changes, there's 3 major ones that we know about. Firstly, the radar no longer tells you when someone is above or below you. It's all the same shade of red, baby. As you can see, this guy's on a different plane to me, but the radar doesn't seem to know. And secondly, the radar's overall reach is shorter than Destiny 1. I wasn't able to test this exactly, but it is definitely noticeable. And I like these 2 changes a lot because it allows you to focus on the actual game in front of you, as opposed to just watching your radar like 90% of the time. The third and final change is that when you ADS, or aim down sight, with a weapon, the radar disappears, the same as Destiny 1, but now when you descope, the radar is much slower to return. To accommodate this, hipfire accuracy has been increased. The devs haven't explicitly said we increased hipfire accuracy, but I'm telling you, it's super noticeable. This is definitely an interesting change because you're now forced to be much more careful about when you ADS. That radar delay will get you if you're not careful. Also, if Third Eye is a perk still in the game, it just became a must-have for me. Knucklehead Radar, where you at? Now let's talk about power ammo. So in the power ammo slot, we have snipers, shotguns, fusion rifles, grenade launchers, and rockets. Will we also have heavy machine guns like in Destiny 1? Not sure, they haven't shown that. Now a huge change to the Crucible is that when power ammo spawns, the first person to pull it is the only one who gets the ammo. I reached out to some Crucible devs and they confirm that this is the same across all game types, although timers will vary. So in Countdown, the game mode we played at the reveal, it was every 30 seconds the power ammo would spawn. I'm a little worried because that means if there's 2 people on your team that like to snipe, you guys will be fighting over who gets the sniper ammo. And a part of me hates this because, well, I want to snipe all of the time. But another part of me likes this because that means there's only ever going to be one person on the other team you need to worry about with power ammo for the most part. Now, I don't know how this plays out in every other game mode, so I'm going to reserve judgment until the beta, but I do know I trust the developers, and I know that the developers understand how much people love to snipe and they love to shotgun and love to use fusion rifles because Destiny's gunplay is incredible. And I know they're not just taking away these fun weapons from you because they can. So before you get super mad about it, let's just wait and see how this actually plays out. Now, another concern you might have is, well, if I can equip a rocket launcher over a sniper rifle, of course I'll just do that because rockets are so much easier to use and more powerful. Well, the way Bungie has balanced this is the amount of ammo that you get. A rocket launcher is super powerful and easy to use, but you only get 1 rocket. A sniper rifle, on the other hand, comes with 6 shots. So does a shotgun and a fusion rifle. So there's way more kill potential there. A grenade launcher is also easy to use, but requires 2 shots to kill and only comes with, I think, 4 grenades. Oh, and by the way, taking damage cancels your power ammo pickup. So in this clip, as I take damage from this swarm grenade, you can see it resets the pickup timer over and over. Swarm grenade confirmed, actually good, question mark? All right, let's quickly talk about snipers specifically. How do they feel in comparison to Destiny 1 snipers? Well, the ADS speed felt good to me. We weren't able to look at the weapon perk trees, but the one I was using had a perk called rapid fire and also that stupid crouch perk, take a knee. But you'll notice that handling is now its own stat bar on all weapons. So I would guess that it's a combination of weapon swap speed and aim down sight speed. Also, rate of fire has been removed, and I guess because it was always in relation to impact anyway, so they're just saving us 1 unnecessary bar. So I would say the ADS speed felt fast enough that it could have had snapshot on it, which I'm really happy with. Maybe they've just removed snapshot and quick draw from Destiny 2 snipers and they've just buffed the ADS speed across the board. I would really like that. In terms of the scope zoom factor, we don't know if we'll have different scopes like ambush and short gaze, but I did feel like the scope zoomed in a little further than the 4.9 times zoom that is short gaze and ambush, like slightly. A headshot does 250 damage and is an instant kill, and depending on how your opponent specs their shield, it will take either 2 or 3 body shots to kill someone. And finally, how's the flinch? Very noticeable. It's basically the same as it is now in Destiny 1. Speaking of weapons, energy weapons, or more specifically, any type of energy damage, will deal bonus damage to enemy supers. And you don't even have to match the energy types together, it's just a blanket buff. So that includes grenade and melee. And also, energy weapons actually take down shields faster according to Mark Noseworthy. Although all energy weapons are only really effective at close to medium range. After all, they are hand cannons, submachine guns, and sidearms at this stage. Moving on to revives, Bungie has made a very small but powerful change to stop res spam in the way of revive tokens. If you look in the bottom right hand corner, you'll see it. You can get 1 revive per person per round. So if you die, you lose your token. And if someone picks you up, you can't res anyone until next round when you get your token back. Revives are pretty fast now, similar to year 1, but there's no immunity frames, so you can be damaged immediately upon pickup. Also, if someone is taking damage, they cannot get a res. The same way you can't pick up power ammo while taking damage. Praise the Lord, revives are now tactical and can't be abused in any way, shape, or form. There's also a ton of new information available on the HUD. Firstly, it shows how close each team is to winning, and in the case of Countdown, that's 6 round wins. Next, it shows the subclass of your teammates and enemies, whether they're alive or dead, and whether they have their super or not. Next, it shows how many revive tokens a team has left. Below the radar are some native game locations for actual sweaty callouts. Now to the kill feed, and the first change is that power ammo, when pulled, it shows who pulled it, what weapon they're using, and where they are. Friendly and enemy super activations are also shown in the feed, as well as who's activated an objective and where that objective is. For example, so-and-so set the charge. Speaking of enemy supers, there's now a different audio mix for PvP versus PvE, according to Luke Smith. So footsteps are much louder in PvP. Enemy and friendly supers have different activation sound effects. Here's what a friendly golden gun sounds like. Here's what an enemy golden gun sounds like. Here's what a friendly Dawnblade sounds like. Here's what an enemy Dawnblade sounds like. Finally, some smaller changes. Sprint lock has been totally removed. You can now sprint slide, sprint slide, sprint slide as much as you like. Did I say small change? Thank you, Bungie. Oh yeah. Fusion grenades no longer one-hit kill Lunde. They'll take someone's shield off, but you have to do the rest of the damage yourself. Also, kills and assists have been replaced with defeats in all terminology, including in-game and in the round summaries. So if you get the kill, you get a defeat. If you assist someone in killing, like I do against Clover here, that assist also counts as a defeat. And as a result, KD has been replaced by efficiency. Fist of Havoc's blast radius has been greatly reduced. Look how close I had to get to this guy to get the kill. Also, Titan and Warlock skating is no more. You can get one slight speed boost per jump if you're using increased control on Titan, but it's barely anything. Thank God we're not going to see Titans flying around the map at 4 times the intended movement speed. Well played, Bungie. RIP Titan mains. And yeah, I think that's everything we know about. I'm not going to cover Countdown as a mode because other people have done that already. All the way subclass perks have been streamlined because it's not really Crucible specific and other people have done that too. So yeah, that's it. Every Crucible change that we know about so far. Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments. Please, thank you. And finally, thank you to the super sexy patrons on the screen right now. These heroes are keeping my channel alive despite the YouTube adpocalypse. F you, YouTube. I don't need your stingy ad revenue money because people are awesome. So thank you again, guys. Leave a like to keep my channel alive. And until next time, I'm the Jazz God Bless. You're super cute. I'm out, dude.